CRISTO, Bridger, and Isaac on Air Flagcoco episode 1.
It's been a minute since I've held you down. This song right here goes out to my town. Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm proud. Put your hands up in the air if you're feeling me now. It's been a minute since I've held you down. This song right here goes out to my town. Flagstaff, Arizona, I'm proud. Put your hands up in the air if you're feeling me now.
Do you remember Danny Neal breaking up the fights?
Yes, I remember Danny Neal. Here's a picture of him with hair. Hi everyone, this is Russell at Flagcoco, and I'm celebrating the best high school rivalry in Arizona. I've got an interview-heavy show for you today, all from the class of 2016, CRISTO TABARES, Bridger HERSHEY, and Isaac CABRERA. But let me get my spiel in first. Hoop season is off and running. All 4 teams are in action these days. The AIA rankings come out tomorrow, and I have no doubt in my mind that for Flag High, both the boys and the girls will be in the top 10. Most likely the girls will be in the top 5. I'd be very surprised if either don't make it that high. Both teams made it to the Elite 8 last year. Both teams lost to the eventual champions last year. And there's no reason to think they won't do at least as well this year. Brett Morrow returns for the Eagle Boys, Sectional Player of the Year. He is slowly coming back from shoulder injuries, and by the time the Eagles hit the meat of their schedule, he should be going full bear. The girls just keep rolling on and on. They're undefeated to this point. They beat Page, Division III champion Page, twice in the Pepsi tournament, and there's no reason to think they're going to just roll through the regular season. The Coconino boys, when everybody's healthy, look like they could beat almost anybody in the section. Injuries to Vincent Figueroa and James Hampshire are going to slow them down, but I expect them, once we get into sectional play, to be heard from. The intriguing team of the 4 are the Coconino girls. They've got, in my opinion, the best backcourt in the section in JJ Nakai and Marissa Copley. Between Copley's athleticism and JJ's court awareness, they should be able to hold their own against nearly anybody in the state. If their bigs can hit the boards and convert their rebounds into points, they should be just fine. But of the 3 times I've watched them this year, every time they've impressed me with defense. Against Notre Dame, they had one girl that was just lighting it up from three-point land. And after 1 quarter, they were up 22-8. Coach Reyes called a timeout, and they started to slowly screw down the defense. And I was impressed, not just by Copley's defense, because I've mentioned her defense before, but it's becoming contagious with the Panthers. Slowly but surely, they got themselves back in that game. And with about 3 minutes left, they had the ball down by just 1, and they had their chances to win that game. Probably the most impressive play I saw in that actually was from Jada Golding, who, being the smallest girl on the court, is getting in players' faces and knocking them down from time to time. She'll give a tough foul when needed. She'll dive to the floor when needed. She'll get in faces when needed. And it was sort of the same story against Flag High over this weekend. The Panthers lost to them in the Pepsi semis 44-42. But just like against Notre Dame, they were down big. They screwed down the defense, and they played their tails off. Shea Toei hit 2 clutch free throws. Nani Thomas tipped the inbound pass. And the Eagles survived and moved on. The Eagles are going to be there at the end. And we'll talk about the Eagles as we go, boys and girls. But those Panther girls, if they get everything on track, they hit their shots, they play their defense, everyone stays healthy, they're going to be heard from at the end. That's what I got for you. Less of me and more of you is always a good thing. My first guest is from Coconino's class of 2016. Plays quarterback during football season and center field during baseball. Please welcome CRISTO TABARES.
So is there anything you didn't win this year? I mean, this year well,
This year you set records for. I know there's not an official record book at Coconino, but as far as I'm concerned, you set records during the Goldwater game for yards passing in the game and your 6 touchdowns, and you won homecoming king on the same night, and you're voted what, offensive MVP, team MVP. You won the Bill Epperson Award. Is there anything you didn't win this year?
I had a lot of success, and I mean, if I didn't, in all reality, all those individual accolades were just for my team. Honestly, I mean, without them, I wouldn't have won all those things.
No, there are times I watched the Panthers, and when you guys clicked on offense, you guys were something to watch. I mean, you had Weston and Francisco running hard. Arthur Chi, once he got the ball on the outside, was unstoppable. You had some really great receivers. C.J. Anderson could catch pretty much anything you threw at him. No, you had an offense that once it was clicking, it was unstoppable, and it was a good thing to watch.
No, yeah, honestly, I mean, our record definitely does not show like what we did this year, but we definitely clicked. I mean, looking at our numbers that we put up against any team, I mean, even the games that we didn't score that many points, I mean, we were still getting over 200, 300 yards of total offense. And, I mean, that was just great to see the improvement that we had over this year.
Yeah. When Coach Jeremiah Smith says clear mind, pure heart, can't lose, what does that mean to you and your teammates?
Coach Smith always implied to us that you could be having as many problems as you want outside of sport of football, but once you hit that gridiron, that football field, I mean, let that all go and, just play that game and really, have a purpose as to why you're playing the game out there. We always try to implement, once we step on that field, that we're just playing football and nothing else in the world matters at that time.
I'm guessing that on the depth chart for next year, we probably got Christian Casado stepping up, possibly being starter next year.
Yeah, we have Cece, we have Kiefer and Devin. I mean, we have a bunch of young guys that I know whoever ends up winning that role is going to be a huge factor. And especially, I mean, me and Christian are really close. I mean, we play baseball together. And then even Ty, I mean, I'm good friends with his brother. And then Devin, I mean, that's one of the kids that I really like seeing play. I mean, whoever steps up in that role to get that spot, I know that they're going to do a terrific job with the offense.
Do you have any words of wisdom for whoever starts next year, whether it's Christian or Kiefer or anyone else, now that you played the whole year pretty much injury-free and you had every start? And is there one thing?
My words of wisdom to whoever ends up being in that role is, accept that role and, I mean, make sure that it's yours. I mean, don't play selfish football. I mean, go out there and really truthfully have fun. I felt like this year, that's what I grasped is I knew it was my team, so I was going to take the bull by the horns and just play football. So that's what I give the advice to them, that you're playing to win games. You're playing for your team, so just play it loose out there and, I mean, enjoy the ride because, I mean, now that high school football is over for me, I truly, am going to miss it, so just enjoy it.
I know you've got a lot of fans out there, including me, but probably your 2 biggest fans are your mother and your sister. I take it you and her are very close?
No, me and my sister are super, super close. I mean, my whole entire life basically it was just my mom and my sister and I. So, I mean, yeah, there was definitely some bickering and fighting between all of us, but I mean, me and my sister are as close as can be, and especially now that she's at NAU, I mean, whenever she comes home for the weekends, anything like that, we always have a great time, and she's definitely one of my biggest supporters and has been through it all.
Speaking of NAU, do you have any plans for college?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I think the best route that I'm going to try and take is try and play down the valley at a junior college, try and get a year or two, get my prerequisites out of the way, and then hopefully in the future try and play at a bigger university, whichever school would like to offer me.
Do you have a major you'd like to pursue?
I want to major in psychology.
Okay. You seem to be enjoying your senior year.
No, yeah, I'm definitely trying to get the best full experience about it and just enjoy my last year of high school and then just get ready for the next chapter of my life. And So I'm definitely trying to enjoy what comes of senior year for sure.
Because every time I see you, you're smiling. I mean, even after the Flag High game, which was the first time I actually met you and shook your hand. That was a tough game. I know that was a very tough loss. I know you all took it very personally, but you were still smiling.
Well, yeah, and I definitely, I mean, after that game, it just kind of clicked to me. I mean, throughout my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I mean, especially my mom, she's always implementing to me, just if you're going to do something, do it with a purpose and smile out there. I mean, and you know what? I ended that game, and, I had no regrets. I mean, we did what we had to do, and, I mean, at the end of the day, all you can do is just smile, have a chip on your shoulder, and say, I mean, they got the better hand of us that day.
Mm-hmm. No, they played a great game, and C.J. Thompson, he had his 2 touchdowns, and he won the Jump Play Award. Every year, I write to Bill Epperson, the namesake of the award that we gave you, and I always give him a picture, and I'm waiting for him to call back. But usually, he always says something very flattering about, "That's a nice-looking kid that won my award," or "He must have played his ass off," or something. Do they have you slotted at center field again for baseball? Or
yeah, for baseball, I'll be at either center field or left field. Somewhere in the outfield, I'll for sure be. But I think most likely center field, but I guess we'll see.
Okay, because I think I watched maybe 3 of your games last year. By the way, thank you for autographing that baseball. That's
of course.
Now, one thing I'm going to hold on to you, okay, because you seem to be the leader of your class.
Okay.
You seem to be the guy at the basketball games leading the student section. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've said on Flagcoco a couple of times, you guys have got to come up with some new material.
Okay, we'll try our best. All right.
I mean, if you got to Google, get on YouTube and find some, Duke, North Carolina games where they're getting into it or something, just because I've watched a lot of games here in Phoenix, and it's the same 10 things every time. And I know you guys can come up with something new, and it just drives me up the wall. I mean, I went to the Cactus Shadows game when you guys played Cactus Shadows this year.
Yeah.
And then the football student section was doing the exact same cheers as this basketball student section. It was grating on me. So I'm throwing the gauntlet down to you, and I'm going to find whoever does it at Flag High. I'm going to throw the gauntlet down on him. Come up with some new material. I'm going to be up there for the season finale on February 5th. And you guys better wow me. You guys better come up with something new.
All right. We'll for sure try our best for that then.
Okay. Okay. Well, like I said, I will be back up there on February 5th.
Okay, perfect.
And
I will be seeing you there.
Oh, yeah, I'll be all over town on that day. There's a couple of days. When I'm doing Flagcoco now, there's always a few people I have to see. I have to go to Flag High and talk to Principal Cullen, which, by the way, he has a couple great stories about you from when you were a freshman.
No, yep.
Yep. Okay. And I always go to Coconino. I always talk to Eric Freeze. And I always go to the rec center. I talk to Danny Neal and Tyrone Johnson there. And then I always visit a couple people, and then I go to the games.
No, yeah, that's great.
So I always have a full day. I always talk to a lot of people, but February 5th, I try to tell people down here, we have the gym packed for a JV girls basketball game.
No, yeah.
That kind of thing never happens. I don't care if it's one of the big rivalries here, if it's Hamilton Chandler. They don't pack the house for JV girls, But,
no, honestly.
They do that in Flagstaff.
No, honestly, it's great. It's so great to see that when people come and support. I love just when people come to any type of our games because it always gets riled up and it's always fun.
No, yeah, the basketball games are wild, and like I said, back in my day, the football games were the same way. I mean, it'll build back up, and hopefully in a couple more years that dome is going to be packed like it used to. We start having a few good games like we had the last 5 or 6 years, and people start coming back around.
No, honestly, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm. I got to ask you about your golden cleats. What inspired you to do that this year?
Honestly, I've always been like the flashy player, I guess you could say. Always like having things that no one else has. And then in the summer, like I saw the cleats and I told my mom, can you like buy these for me? And my mom's like, yeah, you're just gonna have to work for me, like do some chores around this house, help my mom clean. So I did that. And, like I just wanted that for my senior year. My mom's like, it's your senior year. I want you to have them, but I'm gonna have you work for them too. So it's just one of those things I wanted to be a little bit flashier this year. So I ended up getting them.
Coaches didn't say anything. Coach Smith didn't roll his eyes like, nothing like that.
I mean, they all give me that laugh, like really, like you're wearing these, and then they just kept telling me, you play hard for me and you do all that. I don't care what you're wearing, and that's what I try to do each and every week. Just play hard so I can keep wearing them.
Well, I mentioned this on the 2015 page that you earned those cleats on that last drive. It was a 19-play drive. It was 80 yards, and it's a shame you didn't score, but it seemed like every one of you was just trying to gut your way into that end zone just one last time. Is that the way you felt you were on that last drive against Flag High?
That's exactly 100% how I felt. I mean, I saw the time on the clock, and I saw we were running, and I was like, right thinking in the huddle, I was like, yeah, this is going to be my last high school drive, and, no matter what the score is, I'm going to go out, and we're going to try and get at least another score, and, give momentum for the underclassmen next year, and then for us seniors, just go out with a bang. And, I mean, we didn't score, but, that just shows that we had our hearts in the game all the way through and that we just kept pumping our feet trying to make things happen.
Mm-hmm. That's terrific. Well, you and I are going to do this again before you graduate, okay?
No, that sounds perfect.
All right, we'll have CRISTO back again come baseball season. Winter break starts next week. Here's a quick list of holiday tournaments. The Coconino girls will be in Tucson starting December 28th for the Northwest Desert Classic. The boys will be at Pinetop Lakeside on December 31st for the White Mountain Holiday Classic. For Flag High, the girls will be at Red Mountain High School for their Holiday Classic on December 28th. The boys will be in North Phoenix on December 26th for the Judy Dixon Classic. Flag High boys soccer will be at the Reach 11 Sports Complex in North Phoenix for the Arizona Soccer Showcase. And in wrestling, tomorrow, December 18th, Panther boys will be at the Moon Valley Invitational. So if you can make it to the Judy Dixon Classic, you'll be able to see my next guest in action. There's one thing Bridger Hershey and I have in common, is that we can't get enough of this.
And Connor Estes has it. He's going to launch it all the way down court. It's going to be caught by Johnson. Put up good. They put up good. Put up good. He gets it to go. He gets it to go. All right to the ball shot. And he gets it to go. He got it on the beat. And he got it down low. He got the shot to go. Yeah!
What a finish! 0.8 seconds.
What was that?
Connor Estes, 94 feet down the floor to Trevor Johnson. He lays it up off the glass, and it's good. I've never seen anything at this level like that. Unbelievable finish. Flagstaff.
What do you think about Flagstaff now?
64-62. They're going to the state championship.
I've never seen it. That was beautiful. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
So, where in that dog pile after he hits that shot are you?
Well, as soon as he hit that shot, I was kind of first in shock, but then I just remember sprinting, and then I dove, I think, on top of Brett or something, but then everyone piled in, but it was, I think I almost lost my voice, and it was crazy. It was the biggest rush of adrenaline I've had in a long time. For us to hit that shot and move on to the state championship, it was a miracle shot, and it was an awesome moment, especially for Trevor. And but I just remember jumping in there, and I was going nuts, and we were moving on to state championship. So it was an awesome feeling for everyone as a whole. It was great.
Yeah, I was in the building when that shot happened, and the biggest fear I had was when Connor threw it. Nobody would touch it, and if that happened, then Tempe would get the ball with the same amount of time right under their own hoop. That was my biggest fear. So my first concern was somebody just touched the ball.
Yeah, that was kind of me too. And I remember him throwing it, and it was a heck of a throw. I mean, he threw that the whole court. It could have been no better for .8 seconds left to get that off. And I just remember, I didn't even think it was real. Like, I didn't even know, and I just remember him hitting it and then just kind of standing in shock for a second and just running to that dog pile because but I was hoping that, I mean, nobody better but Trevor to go up and jump and take that ball. So it was like meant to be, I thought. So it was sick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great friends, so that was really cool.
Yeah, I didn't know if you'd even have time to come around, but I think it was your mom's video that I went through that I synced up with the KVNA guys for the video I put up. And I went through there frame by frame just to make absolutely sure Trevor got that out of his hand. And there's the one picture. There's .1 seconds on the clock
left,
and it's out of his hand. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yes, he definitely got it off, and it was good that the ref knew he got it off and called it. It was awesome.
Well, bringing it back to today, congratulations for winning the Pepsi tournament.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
They did a good write-up on you in the Daily Sun. What was your you had 7 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good overall all-around day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They give credit to the team though. Everyone did a great job of pushing the ball and fast breaking. We all did a good job on defense, keeping a team of that caliber to 35 points. So, and we've done that with a few teams this year. So it was an all-around great team effort.
Yeah, the one thing I caught especially in the Daily Sun article is that you seem to be the one called upon to do the defensive stop.
Yeah.
Whoever's got the hot hand
Usually
for
when
the
we're
other
going
team.
up against a team, I usually am going up against one of the top players in their lineup, and I love it. Like I look forward to it. I look forward to that challenge, and I like defense a lot. So it's one of my main things. I mean, it comes with a lot of heart and hustle, and I like to bring that.
I know Brett Morrow was dinged up to start the year. How's he coming along?
Oh, Brett's coming along great. He started off with he came back from an injury, and then he recently, like before the first game against Mingus, I think a few days before, he'd injured his other shoulder, I think it was again, and so he was out for that game. He was pretty bummed for that, but he was eager to get back, and I think he's progressing so good right now. Kid's doing great, and he's getting back to his normal self. He's got an amazing mid-range jumper and shot, and he's finishing up close to the basket, and he's just a beast down low for us. So it's really good to have him back and getting going.
Now, originally I was going to do these podcasts in August, and I had talked to you about maybe interviewing you for that because I was surprised that you went out for football this year.
Yeah, that was a big decision for me, but looking back at it all, it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. It was great, There was a lot of things that influenced me to play. One of my good friends, Nick Christopher, he really wanted me to play. He's running back on the team. He influenced me, and a good friend who many people know have passed away, Zach Bierman, really wanted me to play. And I think that influenced me a lot. I did a spring football in the spring with the guys, and I really liked it. And like my parents were like still unsure about it. They were like, "You're going into your senior year of basketball, like you need to focus on that." But I was like, I know I'm a guy who can catch the ball, and I've always wanted to play. And no, I don't want to get injured, but I can't I can't have that mindset going into it to just think I'm going to get injured, and I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So I was like, I don't want to have any regrets. So I wanted to go out, and especially after Zach had passed away, he loved that game of football. I remember him telling me how much he wanted me to play. He even gave me his old cleats from the previous year. He didn't play too much his senior year because of an injury, but he gave them to me, and so that meant a lot to me. And then that kind of sealed the deal, and I did workouts with him in the summer, and I was like doing summer passing league with those guys, and it was a great group of guys on the football team that I got to had the pleasure of playing with for so long this fall, and it was an amazing experience, and I have no regrets, and I was so happy I did it.
Well, there was quite a bit made when I went to the rivalry game about the significance of you guys scoring 33 points and the spirit of Zach being literally on the sidelines with you during the game.
Yeah, that was that was incredible. I think it was Avery Wilson or someone who, because I was in the, I played offense and defense that whole game at a corner and a wide receiver, so I was just like living in the moment of the game the whole time and just so focused on that and so rallied and pumped up. And I just remember on the sideline for a play, and Avery just told me to look up at the score for a second, and I looked up at the score and I saw the 33, and I broke into a few tears right there and just was like, and took a deep breath, and I was like, I just felt like he was there with us for sure. I mean, it was an amazing moment, and it was awesome. Like, I don't know, it was kind of mind blowing to me, like the significance of that to get his number 33, and it's something I'll never forget. But I know he was looking down on us during that night, and he protected us very well, and it was a great game.
You got plans for college?
Yeah, definitely want to attend college. I've applied to Fort Lewis in Durango, Colorado, and NAU here in Flagstaff, and I'm very interested in both. I'd definitely be interested in playing basketball at Fort Lewis for sure, or who knows, maybe even football. But I mean, I have intentions of playing some sport in college, whether that's football or basketball. So I'm definitely trying to send out more films and highlights and see how the rest of this basketball season goes and go from there. But if not, I'll probably attend one of the two, Fort Lewis or NAU, and go to school and get a degree and maybe business or something. I'm not sure what I want to go into yet, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it though.
Well, I hope to have a few of your teammates on this show, hopefully in the next couple shows. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody while you've got the chance?
Yeah, I'll shout out to my whole basketball team for getting the 3-peat on the Pepsi Tournament Championship, and all the football guys for winning the state championship this year. Some of my good buddies like Nick Christopher, Ben Anderson, Christian Singleton. We got Shake and Bake on the team, and but a lot of guys on the basketball team, like all my senior boys. I mean, Brett, AJ, Chance, Caleb. I mean, there's Kyle, Mitch. There's a lot of guys, and then Brandon for such a great tournament this last weekend. And George and all the guys. But it's been a great experience so far, and I've gotten close with so many of these guys, and it's such a brotherhood between all of us that there's a lot of people I'd have to shout out, but I can't really because there's too many people. I mean, but those are a lot of the guys that I've been really close with the past years, and those guys I wanted to shout out.
Terrific. Do you have any questions for me?
When's the next game you think you could probably attend to for basketball? Next time we're down in the valley, or?
I keep the schedule close. It's tough between now and Christmas being a rookie mailman.
Mhm.
I mean, we do parcel runs on Sundays, and I'm a rookie, so therefore I have to do it.
Yeah.
And,
well, I know that we're doing the Judy Dixon tournament, the Christmas tournament down in Phoenix, Christmas break. I think it's like the 26th through like the 30th. So for like the next 4 days, those 4 days in a row. But we have a tournament down there.
I've only been able to watch the Panther girls this year.
Yeah.
Just by some luck, just by the way the schedule's worked out. But I know we're still early in the season. There's still plenty to go.
Oh, yeah.
And I will bust my butt to be in Flagstaff for the season finale on February 5th.
Yep. That'll be great. That's my senior night. So that'll be sweet. A lot of guys on the team senior night.
Everyone likes to use the term, you can throw the records out because it's a rivalry. But it's a little more because everybody already knows what everybody can do.
Yeah.
You know, you can take out the coaches. You can just wheel the balls out. It's still going to be a tight game. It's going to be hard fought. And
yeah. So that's definitely one thing. I mean, it's a sense of pride and bragging rights between that school. So you're gonna do everything you can. You'll give it your all. I mean, that's one thing our coach says every year. I mean, it's not a game where where he needs to give us usually a motivational speech or something if we're looking distraught or down. Like, I mean, the game itself gets us amped up and hyped up knowing that we're playing them every time. So it does it for itself.
Oh, I know. And I know, when you play Coconino, they're going to have their student section going, and you're going to be, every time you hit a shot, you're going to look over there and see if you just shut them up. I know. Because I was in that student section too, and Eagles players at the time, it was Doug Doherty that was just looking right at me every time he hit a shot, saying, "Shut up."
When you go to Coconino High and you go through the north doors and you walk under the huge, beautiful Panther mural and you go through the doors going towards the gym, there's a plaque in that first trophy case you come to. And it's got the names of every wrestling champion to ever go through Coconino. The next time you go by that case, give that plaque a look and see if the name Isaac Cabrera is on there.
So you moved up in weight this year, didn't you? What were you wrestling at last year?
2 weight classes I wrestled. We start off before January 1st. We get a 2-pound allowance. So the initial weight is 113 to 115, 106 to 108. So I started off wrestling 113. This is last year. Mm-hmm. And then after January, I went down to 108.
You went down?
Yeah, this is last year. This year, the weight class is 120, and after January, 113 gets moved to 115. So when it goes up to 115, I'll be wrestling at 115 after January. So.
Do you find it's changing anything about your style or wrestling heavier opponents? Is that affecting you at all at this point?
Nah, just put in work. My body's grown, weights every day, a lot of food up till now. But, yeah, just grown muscle and technique and everything. So it's about the same. I weigh the same. He weighs the same. Same deal.
So what does a typical workout look like for a wrestler? I mean, I know you hit the weights pretty hard, but I also know that you're trying to keep your weight consistent, so you can't really bulk up too much, right?
I'll tell you in off season, and let's say right around now when I got to lean out, well, I've been leaning out, and so last summer it was wake up, go to work, do whatever, and we had practice every day at 4:30 with our coach Tyler Chang, this other guy from Embry-Riddle. So I would go to work or whatever, me and my buddies, and then we go have practice. So Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays was weightlifting, like pretty tough, like circuits and so on, etc. And then we have wrestling practice every other day. That was with him. Everything on my own, it was go to the gym, just a normal, what's the word? Just like the basic list, let's say bench, squat, and back. Just real hard, just the big muscle groups. That's what I did on my own. Same thing before school every day. I go hit my normal workouts, bench, squat, back, just whatever, just real heavy every day. And then at school, we have a workout class, about the same thing, same weights. And then we got practice right after school. So whatever we do at practice.
Do you have a special diet that you pertain to?
Yeah, I try to stay away from bread and sugar. That's about it, honestly. Just basically the same old stuff, just chicken and pasta.
Right. Do you keep track of your body fat percentage, or is that?
Nope. I just know I get pretty skinny when I cut weight.
Did you participate in any camps this year over the summer?
No, we just worked out with our coach every day. But we went to go wrestle in Vegas for duels a couple times and just a few tournaments here and there. That was about it. Last time I went to a wrestling camp, right after freshman year, so about 2 years, and that was Jay Robinson. That was a 14-day intensive camp. Me and 3 other teammates went for 2 weeks to Oregon, and it was a living hell for sure.
But you went to Coach Estrella's seminar this summer, didn't you? Richard Estrella?
I went to a few clinics. I went to his for a day. That was real cool. Richard Estrella's a good guy, real nice guy. That was real fun. Talk to him, and he's a Flagstaff native and Coconino alumni, so that was really interesting to be around him. He's gone far in his career in wrestling, so.
Yeah, he's the right guy to have in your Rolodex. I watched his clinic when he was down here in the Valley a couple days before he went to Flagstaff. I'm sure it's a lot different watching it as it is to actually participate in it. Why wrestling? I mean, I'm sure all your buddies are shooting hoop down at the rec center, or they're working out year long for football. How did you get started in wrestling?
Well, the thing was, my dad was a big baseball guy. He's played ball his whole life and coached a bit just around town. And I've been playing baseball. I used to play baseball till freshman year, but I started when I was 4 years old, just a little guy playing with my dad, and me and him, he'd coach and everything. So that was a huge part. Then in middle school, there's a thing called wrestling. I was like, I want to go try it out. Another old buddy of mine. So he ended up quitting, and I stuck with it. And I just liked it. I really enjoyed it, just hands-on, trying to go beat somebody up in middle school. It was fun. I wrestled.
You haven't given up. I'm sorry. I was going to say, you haven't given up baseball yet, have you?
No, I stopped after freshman year. I just couldn't give it 100%. Couldn't find myself doing it too much. Just two different worlds.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so after freshman year, I was like, I'm a wrestler. I'm not a baseball player anymore. So.
Is there a certain move that you would consider yours, like your signature move? I mean, I'm sure you know every trick in the book, but is there like one bread and butter move you have when it's getting late in the match and you're getting done? There's one thing you can always do to turn things in your favor. Do you have one move like that?
Well, it's one thing to pick a guy up over your head and throw him down, but not everybody's that bad to let you in on their leg. So
right.
Most of the time, I know I could get on a guy's ankle, so a low single, probably. That's just kind of like close enough to a go-to. Not my favorite, but like I know I could get there.
Going for the ankle?
Yeah, like an ankle pick or a low single.
Do you feel that now you're wrestling this year as a defending state champion? Do you feel like there's a target on your back? Do you feel like other wrestlers are giving you more of an effort, more of their A game as opposed to last year?
Yeah, like the guys like I know now I talk to around my weight and I see often, they know I'm a state champ, but let's say at peaks. I didn't know any of those guys. I didn't know if they knew I was a state champ or not, but yeah, I do feel like not a target on my back, but everybody wants to be the state champ for sure. I know I do. I want to be other state champs. I want to be other tough guys. And it does feel a lot different than last year because I had different goals. I got the same goals, but it was achieve something again instead of achieving something for the first time. There's a big difference.
I know you lost one match this year at Peaks, right?
Yeah.
Are you the kind of guy that the guy that beats you, you've now got his picture up on your wall so you can gun for him, and you've got him in your mind for when you run into him again, maybe at state? Is that just one of those things that you feel like later in the year you're going to get your vengeance against him?
Maybe not my vengeance against him, because I don't know if I'll wrestle him again, but more of a vengeance against myself. Like, I know what I did wrong. I know how I beat myself, and that's what I think of during practice, and waking up in the morning to go work out and stuff is just like, this is what I did wrong, this is why I lack in. And that's what really brews over my head. I really don't think of, like, the other person. I always think of, like, my own mistakes. That's usually how I lose, is just when I beat myself. So that's the way I think of it. Maybe not his picture, but, like, a picture of myself doing something that was a mistake and how he capitalized on it.
Yeah, but in the back of your head, something tells me you're hoping you get a chance at him again, just to even score. Yeah.
Yeah. When I really think about it, I do get pissed. I do want to go. I want to go take him out. I really want to. I really want to kind of redeem myself with certain people. So.
Now, there's a plaque at Coconino. I hope you've seen it. I hope your name is now on it. Yep. Every state champion from Coconino, going all the way back. There's Marvin Hatcher's name from the 70s there. Kids I grew up with, like Andrew Cedillo, his name's on there. Alex Acosta. Your name's on there now?
Yeah.
Probably right under Gabe Gavilas.
It's Gabe Galaviz, Colin Anderson.
Galaviz. I knew I was going to screw that name up. I'm sorry. Do you have plans after high school? A college you're looking towards, or something else in line?
Yeah, I definitely want to be an Iowa Hawkeye. That's number one. Other coaches have been talking to me from GCU and, like, Notre Dame. So, but we'll see. We'll see after I retake my SATs and everything, and see where I get put at and what other colleges come up. So, but definitely college wrestling and a degree in engineering.
Well, that's two of the heavyweight programs there, buddy. I know Iowa's always one of the top. I know Notre Dame is always in the mix.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for me, anything you'd like to ask me?
Do you have a day job?
I spent the last 4 months as a city carrier associate for the United States Postal Service. In other words, I'm a rookie mailman.
Cool.
And these days are tough because all the regulars, they have to have just their 40 hours and 2 days off, which means all the grunt work is on the CCAs or on me. And it'd be one thing if I were 25 years old and still a young pup and still completely healthy, and I'd be able to run around and do 55, 60, 70-hour weeks. But I'm 46 and starting this, so it's a little tough on my body, and it's a little tough on my wife and kid. But everybody understands that this will help my family much more once I make regular, hopefully in about 6 months, and we can talk about my wife retiring and getting my grandson into college when he graduates, which is not for a while. He's in first grade, and he's 6 years old, going on a teenager right now. He's got the full-blown teenage attitude. And when I'm not delivering mail or I'm not chasing a 6-year-old around, I do Flagcoco. I am going to bust my butt to try to watch you. When is it? Friday and Saturday is the Moon Valley tournament?
Yeah. The weight class is 120, but I got to weigh like 116.5 because of my weight certification. Yeah, I go down every weigh-in 1.2 pounds. It sucks. it's going to be a big weekend of getting my weight down for a match on Monday, studying for finals or all next week, and keeping my weight low and studying, and then going to wrestle. So probably the toughest week out of the year besides state and sections.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I wrestled a little bit, but it was more like, hey, we got an opening. You want to wrestle this week? Wrestle, and I said sure. I didn't really have to worry about weight or anything as strenuously as you do. I mean, this is something you take seriously. When I was wrestling in 1984, you know, it was one of those it was a different sports culture in high school. We all did 2 or 3 different sports just to stay in shape. We all had our pet sport. Mine was football. But, you know, I played basketball and I wrestled and I tried track once. But you always did sports just for the sake of keeping in shape. As opposed to now where it seems like everybody's specialized on one sport and the rest of the year they're working out or they're going to clinics or camps based on that one sport.
Couldn't do it now with wrestling. It's 100%. It's honestly more of a lifestyle. I'm sure you heard that, but it definitely is.
Mhm.
It's all the way more of a lifestyle, not just a sport.
Well, it has to be. I mean, you're it's not like any other sport where you're trying to get as big or as fast or as tall as you possibly can. You're trying to stay within a very finite, you know, a very finite window is what you're trying to stay at for an entire season. And I know it's got to be tough on you.
Months, I keep my weight under control, and I'm not starving myself or anything. I don't diet and exercise. I eat and train.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes closer to match times, I work harder, eat less. It's a pretty simple formula. Then off season, I'm not a complete fat ass, but like, yeah, I throw some food down and lift hard every day. Just trying to get big and gain weight and gain muscle. And then do it all again for the next 3 months.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the season, I know you just let yourself go for a day or two, and if there was an In-N-Out burger, you would probably be there every day for that first week after the season. But
you know it.
But I know that you can't do that too much because the last thing you want is to look up, season starts in a month. I need to lose this 10 or 15 pounds that I put on.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
never really
sure you're hoping at the most it's like 5 at the very most that you've got to lose before you start.
Like this year, I didn't get up that heavy. I grew a bit and got bigger, but the plan was always like 115. Like I didn't even get past 125, 126 like at all. If I was up at 132, then believe me, I wouldn't be wrestling 115. It's just where I ended up at, and then I go down. And I don't know. It's hard to do gaining that much weight. Like some kids can, but like, I don't know. And then next year for college, the weight class is 125. So I'll probably be up at 135 around then. So after this season, I'll try to get up to 135. Just bulk up.
Well, when you start putting on that a little bit more weight in the off season, do you feel it?
No, it's not fat, but I got more like water in my system and always a full belly.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of more food than the body really needs. But I'm lifting weights and stuff, so I'm just trying to get big. But yeah, then when you eat light for a while, you start running, you get all this like sweat out of you and like a little bit of pudge. I never really got pudge on me, like any fat, like even off season or not, like never like it really an ounce of fat on me.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got a lot of food in your belly and just water in your muscles, I guess, this makes you heavy.
But you'll never think like I've eaten 2 Big Macs, I just can't get off this couch. You never feel that feeling?
No.
Don't ever feel it. Don't ever put yourself in a position where you just eat yourself into a coma.
No. But yeah, just like whatever it is in the morning, whatever workout it is, I'm usually pretty excited, and it's kind of like night and day when I wake up a little bit later and go to school. I don't know. Depends, like match days. If I gotta get weight off, I'm usually pretty good with my weight. So on like a wrestling day, I don't really gotta get any weight off. I just wake up and show up.
Mhm.
But like any other day, I just feel better and I'm up earlier. I got a good workout in. I feel good. My muscles feel good. Eat a good breakfast, and I always feel like I have a better day instead of showing up just half asleep. And I don't know. I just feel like it's just a completely different day, and I just feel better.
Do you feel even on a day-to-day thing, like let's say you're just running late and you can't have your regular breakfast, so you just grab a donut? Do you feel it throughout your school day if you don't work out and you don't have the right breakfast? Do you feel it throughout the rest of your day?
Yeah, but I don't eat donuts, but but yeah,
yeah, but you know what I mean. I mean,
I'm trying to remember the day I ran late.
Mhm.
Kind of shrug it off. Like I'm trying to think of a day. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I could always go to school and work out. There's always opportunities, but yeah, it just feels different. I don't like showing up late or in a rush in the morning.
So you're saying the last place I'd find you when I go up to Flagstaff in February, and I start looking for you, the last place I should look is Dunkin' Donuts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last place.
Last.
That's going to do it for today's edition of Air Flagcoco. I want to thank my three guests, CRISTO, Bridger, and Isaac, for being part of this. I hope this is something that improves with time. And as it improves, I hope my audience grows. Just like Twitter and Facebook, I hope these podcasts become a regular part of your Flagcoco diet. Merry Christmas, drive safe, and if you see Noah and I in the stands, please come on over and say hi.